Hi everyone, Pete and Bobby here. I'm Pete and Bobby is the guy behind the camera. It's a beautiful June morning. Actually, it's June 1st today, and I believe the long cold winter is finally over with, and as you can see, we have our garden in full swing here. Today it's actually warm enough to where we are going to work on our sweet potatoes. So we have all of our slips ready to plant today. I have two different spots that I'm going to plant them in, and I'm going to show you how we got them ready to go. So if you've seen my video from last winter or last fall, we actually dug up our sweet potatoes and we had a huge harvest, giant sweet potatoes, and they lasted us pretty much all winter long. I saved around a dozen of them or so to use to make my slips for this year. So it worked out great. This is the second year in a row we've done it, so we didn't actually have to go and purchase any slips anywhere, and are basically just reusing everything from year to year, so it's not costing us a dime. So I want to explain to you quickly how we did that. It's very simple, so let's get to it. So up here, what I did was I just went to the grocery store and bought a couple of these deep roaster pans. They're just the disposable kind that you can throw away. And I pretty much just took my sweet potatoes, my whole sweet potatoes, I put them in this roaster pan with some seed starter. Went and bought the seed starter, filled up the pan, put my potatoes in here. I probably put 5 or 6 potatoes in here, filled them up about halfway, so the potatoes are actually sticking out on top, so you can see that. And then pretty much just kept them watered, kept them in the light, and put a little bit of a heat source underneath them on occasion just to keep them warm and keep them growing. So as you can see, what comes out of the top of them, and we actually get little sprouts that come out of the top of these sweet potatoes after, I would say about 2 weeks. Once your potatoes have been in there and kept watered, little bitty tiny sprouts will just come out of these sweet potatoes. You can see there's a little one coming right there. But if after about 4 to 5 weeks, they'll grow probably 5, 6, 7 inches tall, however tall you want to get them, and that's when they're ready to break off as your slips, and you can go ahead and go on to step 2 of this process. So like I say, this is about 5 to 6 weeks, so I'm actually going to break a couple of these off and show you what the next step is. So all you want to do, get close to the base of the potato, and you want to just take your fingernail or a sharp knife, and you just want to pop it off of there, just like so. I'm going to grab another one, maybe a little bit bigger one. Alright, let's get this one here. Like that. What you want to do after you break it off of there, pull off your bottom leaves, just like that. Let's get this one here. That one's not too good, but we'll use it anyway. Pull your bottom leaves off. Then you just want to get a mason jar, or a good glass-sized jar. Step 2, voila. So, what we do, you just take your slips that you pulled off your potato, fill your jar with water, and you just put them in there, just like so. As you can see, this is probably, I would say, a week to 2 weeks, and all of your stems start to sprout your roots. I probably have 10 or 12 slips in these. You can see it's just full of roots. Once your roots have sprouted on there, you're ready to plant. So let's go do that. We've got 2 locations we're going to plant in this year. We're going to plant in our raised bed, which we planted in last year, and it worked great, but we just decided we wanted a little bit more, so we actually made a second garden up in the backyard, an in-ground garden, and there's actually a video out on that one as well. So what we did in the fall, actually Bobby did, he has a broad fork, and he actually broad forked the raised bed and the large in-ground bed, which was a piece of work. That took a while. So what that broad fork does is it loosens the dirt up very deep, and then in the fall or in the spring when you're ready to plant, basically we just try to till just the top of it and loosen the top part up. That way we're not disturbing all of the dirt that's down low and packed in with all of the worms and all of the nutrients. That way there's not a whole lot of disruption to your soil. So these beds are ready to go. I actually planted a couple already, but I want to plant a couple more and show it to you. So come on over this way. Let me grab my 2 out of here that I want to use. Let's see. I'm going to do this one. And this one. Alright, come on over, guys. Now on your spacing on your sweet potatoes in your bed, your plants can actually be about 1 foot apart, and then your rows need to be about 2 feet apart. These are going to go down about 6 inches deep. So I got my shovel here. I already pre-made my holes here just so I kind of measured everything out. But I've got a hole here and a hole here about 1 foot apart. I'm just going to dig down, loosen that up about 6 inches. It's nice and soft. Stick my plant down in there, my slip. Get your roots down there, just plant it straight down. This dirt is nice and loose so that these potatoes can just grow straight down. Now when you put your dirt in there, you want to pack it in a little bit around the roots. And then just spread your dirt on around it. Let's do one more here. So it's been a long winter. It's been a wet spring. We've had a hard time getting into the gardens and keeping the grass mowed and everything, but I think we're finally free of the cold weather, hopefully in the rain. So let's get that packed down in there, and then we'll spread our dirt around evenly. You want to keep these nice and moist. I think one of the things that helped our garden do so well last year with the sweet potatoes was we kept it very wet. Not very wet, but it didn't dry out. So the dirt remained soft and the potatoes were they were giant. So worked real well. So let's give these a little bit of water here. I'll plant the rest a little bit later. Try not to get your water on your leaves. You just want to go around your plant. That should do it. See a weed here. See that weed out there. Great. So that's good. So let's head up to, let me grab my slips back here. And we're going to go plant some in the big garden. So follow me. So we've got a good sized backyard here, and if you take a look around, you can see we've got just about everything planted here. We've got green beans, tomatoes. We'll be making videos on that in the next couple days, but everything's doing well. The majority of stuff that we have, we started from seed in the house, other than the green beans. So, but it's doing great. The weather's warming up. It's been a crazy spring with the rain and the COVID restrictions that we've had. So with what the media is saying about the prices of food that's going to come up in the next few months, maybe toward the winter, I know we are going to be very glad that we're going to have a lot of the vegetables that we have that we can put up, whether it be the green beans or corn or whatever. So I'm going to run in here and open up a couple windows real quick. Save me a step a little bit later. Alright, let's head to the garden. It's nice and warm in here right now. So we decided most of our beds here are raised beds, as you've probably seen in the past, but this year we created a new in-ground bed. It's a pretty good size. It's all potatoes, whether it be we got some red potatoes, we've got Kennebec potatoes in there, and then the rest of it's going to be all our sweet potatoes. So let's show you what we got here. Let's go this way. Beautiful potato patch here. You can see they've all came up. They're actually getting ready to start blooming. We planted these on Good Friday this year, so it was early. We actually had it covered up all winter long with tarp to keep, we had leaves on top of it, grass clippings, and kept the tarp over it through the winter so that the spring, when we knew it would be raining all the time, it wouldn't be so wet that we couldn't plant on Good Friday, because that was our goal. we went by the Farmer's Almanac and wanted to get them in the ground on Good Friday, which we did. So we're pleased. We may be digging these up as early as July or August. So, okay, so what we did on our sweet potato area, I planted a couple already. Again, the plants are a foot apart. Our rows are about 2 feet apart. That way we can get in between the rows and weed it if needed, which we will. So we actually made a couple of, about 4 rows of hills here, or a ridge, and we're going to plant with the potatoes on the ridge. That way there's plenty of loose soil for these potatoes to grow down in, because what you want is you want your soil to be loose so that your potatoes grow down rather than to the side. We don't want the long, skinny, wiggly potatoes. We want the nice, big, round potatoes that you can bake. So if your dirt is compact and tight, it causes problems for the potato to actually grow the way it wants to grow. That's when you get the all crazy shaped sweet potatoes or potatoes. So I got 2 planted here, so let's do a couple more. Grab a couple out of here. So let's go down here. So again, I wanted about a foot apart, so my foot's not a foot, but it's close to it. Let's go about right here. I want to go down about 6 inches. See how nice and loose it is? Again, we didn't dig down deep because we broad forked it in the fall, so that dirt way down low or way down deep is nice and soft. So we got all of our dirt ready early in the spring, late in fall. So take your plant, same way we did in the raised beds, just going to go straight down the ground. Now, especially in the ground gardening, you want to make sure you pack this dirt down in there good and tight so there's no air pockets around the roots. And then you want to go up around your stem. Pack it down there. Let's go about another foot apart here. Same thing. Now we have this whole area is inside our backyard, which is fenced in, which will be a good thing because the animal that likes these sweet potatoes the most are the deer. They come and they will eat every leaf off of these slips if they want to. We've had it happen before. Came out here and had nothing left. That was back when it was in the field. So hopefully behind the fence it will be okay. But I think we are, just to be on the safe side, this area here, we're going to put our netting around the sweet potatoes just to keep. You never know, a deer might hop that fence. I wouldn't be surprised. I think they've done it before. Plus we have a huge abundance of squirrels in the backyard now. I don't know that they like sweet potato leaves, but better safe than sorry. So we are going to put our netting around this as well. Okay, that's 2. I got a long way to go. Let me give these a little bit of water. Now, sweet potatoes, as you've heard me say before, are very, very healthy. We eat them all the time. I've even started this spring roasting them on a grill. I just slice them, put a little bit of olive oil on them, salt, roast them on the grill for about 10-15 minutes, take them off. You can drizzle them in honey, you can put a little bit of brown sugar on them, but we eat them all the time. I have a 17-year-old son who even loves them. So we eat them for breakfast. I have them for dinner. Usually we have a sweet potato at least once a day. They're just so healthy for you. We eat, as you can see, we eat lots of potatoes. I don't have a weight issue. None of my family has a weight issue. I'm not the skinniest thing in the world, but I'm not overweight, and we don't have any health issues. And I think a lot of that is to be credited to how we eat. I mean, we try to eat as organically as possible. I mean, I don't think anybody can do it 100%, but we do our best and try to grow as much vegetables of our own vegetables as we can. So we try. So it's a potato day today, so that's what I'm going to be doing all day. So it's bright and early. I got lots of work to do. You guys remember, if you like what you've seen, please hit our subscribe button and watch our channel as much as you can. Take care, work hard. Remember, everybody can be nice. See you later.